Hello, this is 10 Minute Talks, where I talk for 10 minutes and post whatever is usable. What happens to the hours? I'm not really here with solutions this time around. I wish I were playing the fool right now. I wish I could say that this was an exercise and trying to get you to walk and find the solution. But where do the hours go? I woke up this morning at 8 a.m. I tried to, first thing in the morning, record these, but the flesh is weak and requires more discipline. So I found myself watching React videos up until just about 10. And I think it's going to be just a mere couple of minutes, especially since I watch videos at 2 times, 2.5, 3 times speed. I think I have such a good handle over my consumption that eventually, when the time passes and I realize that it's 10 a.m., I realize, what have I been doing with the past couple of hours? Where did they go? I'm not sure where I heard this or read this. If someone could cite it, it'd be really incredible, but it's not mine. Somebody once said that bad decisions stack, they scale, they go on top of each other. The worst thing you can do is not have space between your decisions. Bad decisions like to optimize themselves. You'll immediately go from this to that and this and that, and as the transitionary period gets smaller and smaller, the rashness and the lack of mindfulness between decisions becomes larger and larger. Whenever you stop to think, you burn calories, right? Our body naturally burns enough to make sure it continues to move. But in doing so, you are exerting effort when you even perform the smallest action, whether you lift your hand or whether you stand up, or even in this case, whether you think. Your brain is taking in calories and spitting out electricity. And in that case, trying to expand the space between your decisions, between your moments, between your movements, is effort. And I wonder if it's easier for other people. I wonder if it's easier for some folk to will themselves into doing things, or whether perhaps in the inverse, that this skill has atrophied for me, and no doubt for a lot of you. That to pause, and to think, and to regiment yourself has become something that is slowed, that you drag your feet on. I also read somewhere that our perception of time gets smaller and smaller as we age, where when you live, you've lived 1 year of your life, and that's when 100% of your life has been in that 1 year. And in 2 years, 100% of your life has been in those 2 years. So each year was 50%. And as you continue to get older and older, this is disregarding the fact that you don't really remember things when you're that young. But as you get older and older, every year becomes a thinner and thinner slice of the grand expanse of your existence. You eventually will find that in your 60s, the year that has passed is only 1/60th of your life. And can you even comprehend that? Can you think of 1/60th a slice of pizza? Or 1/60th a slice of cake? Or 1/60th a car? What even is that? Is the wheel even 1/60th? Or is that too much, too generous? We're constantly fighting this battle between the time that we're existing in and our perception of it. And it's uphill. A lot of these fights just happen to be uphill. I knew a person in the College of Celestial Causality who took it upon themselves to memorize declamations and try to memorize them for as long as possible. For those of you who don't know what a declamation is, it is the exercise of learning the script of an academic, a scholar, or even just a script in general, and while adding context to either side of it, the beginning and the end, your introduction in the beginning and the analysis at the end. The entire exercise is meant for you to be able to contextualize the words of another person and really understand them. Through memorizing them, through being able to speak them out loud in a way, you are able to internalize them. It was an incredible exercise. I took a class in it, though I'll have to admit none of them stuck. I think at some point I had declaimed something from 1984, the passage wherein you do not want to make a martyr out of those you slay. Instead, you want them to believe exactly what you believe before putting them away. And I think before that, I declaimed a passage from your world's World War I. It often took 2 months to properly do the project and memorize the words, and we'd be graded word by word for it. It wasn't enough to be convincing or rizful. You were judged also on your memorization of the content. This exercise aside, which I think is something I should probably pick back up, that might be good for the brain. Speaking of the brain, this person in my life, this person in the college, took it upon themselves to try to learn a new thing every month, a new speech every month, and they'd become encyclopedic by the time I'd poke them again. The most recent declamation I remember them speaking to is the entire, I think, first 8 minutes of Lord of the Rings, wherein 5 rings were given to the 3 rings were given to the dwarves, 5 rings to the realms of man, and 5 rings to the elves. I'm not the person they're claiming, so I don't know. But they could do it on pat. If Peter Jackson walked up to this individual and asked them to recite it, they would be astonished that this person remembered things that Peter didn't. I called him Peter because we're on a first-name basis. Hi, Peter. It's said that neuroelasticity fades as you grow, but you can still do things to foster it. By testing and pushing your brain, you can still make it work, even if it is hard. And the brain really accepts new experiences first. You don't remember the 80th kiss you've had, but maybe the first, or maybe the worst, or maybe the best. Having new, novel, and exciting experiences, maybe my life has just become so stale, is where the hours go. The hours are right here, but I'm missing them. Passing them by. I don't want that. I don't like that. I don't like that idea. We as humans have a finite space to live. A space to occupy. We should have time, of course, to relax our brains and rest, but I don't want it to pass me by in my life. I hope that this time next year, September 6th, by the time of recording, that I've endeavored to make so many more interesting memories. Or at least, if the hours passed, it wasn't because I had missed them, but because I greatly hope I can put a wonderful time to memory. That the time was too short. Not because it had gone away unconsciously, but because I had consciously experienced it all, and have to make do with that I'm past it. Ding ding ding, 10 minutes.